just watching someone go through that and getting that news, and it's just an indescribable feeling that you never want to watch someone go through.
For one of Alexis Stucky's best friends, the moment she heard those 3 letters, she knew the next year would be different. It was an ACL and MCL injury for the All-American setter just 9 matches into the Gators' 2023 undefeated season, ranked 3rd in the nation.
It was high and tight, and I was excited because I didn't feel like there was anybody up. So I dumped it, jumped up, landed on one foot like I do every single day in practice, but this time my knee caved in, and I wasn't really sure what happened in that moment. I thought I was fine. I asked to go back in. When I was on the floor, I was like, okay, get me out of here. Like, we need to move on so we can keep playing, but I thought I was fine.
In true Stucky fashion, she was worried about one thing, volleyball. But even number 5 could sense the feel in the arena during set 2 after she went down.
I think everyone else's reactions is what kind of got me. Aubrey was coming out there with some urgency. Mary was coming out. That doesn't really happen unless it's really serious. And then it was silent in there.
The sold-out crowd of more than 10,000 was exactly that. Stunned, heartbroken, and hoping for the best. The team's athletic trainer, Aubrey Wright, knew a little sooner what everyone else was dreading.
I knew on the court what was going on, and I knew kind of where we were at just based on the test I have to do. It was while it doesn't seem like a straightforward injury, it is a pretty straightforward injury in terms of testing, and so I kind of had a feeling.
With her parents on the phone in Wyoming, Alexis was told the results.
Well, I kind of laugh looking back at it now because I had such an extreme reaction. Like, I started seeing stars and full body sweating. It was just not the news I wanted to hear. Both my parents had ACL surgery, so I was genetically destined, but I was really hoping it wasn't me.
And the mobility proved to be a challenge for Stucky's knee.
I wanted to be off crutches at 6 weeks, and I wanted to do all the things, but I had faced a lot of adversity in the beginning. I couldn't get my knee to bend. Just things were not going as planned. So really one of my big goals was to just be patient with myself, keep it slow, and those were really hard for me to meet because I'm a very impatient person. As things got going and I got to move more into volleyball things, Dave and CK came up with such great ideas for me to work on something volleyball-wise, and that kept me sane. Having volleyball come back was a huge deal for me, and when I could set goals there, I was a much happier person.
And the coaching staff made sure that Alexis was using those hands.
Yeah, so we worked on a lot of things. We worked on me taking the ball high and neutral, and then we worked on a whole bunch of different things with my hands. If there's a type ball, I can invert my hands different directions. But they did so many things to help me. I'm not exactly in my speed era yet, so now that I have different tools with my hands, I can fix and account for that. So
the times where it hit Stucky most was thinking about the people aspect of it all.
It was really, really hard. I mean, I'm really, really close with my family, but I love volleyball so much that it's okay. So not having either was really, really hard, really hard. But my family's great. I talk to my mom every day for forever. I talk to my dad all the time. They were awesome. My teammates were awesome, but it was just really hard when I don't have either.
The mental toll it takes on athletes is the number one. It's easy for people to see the initial injury is so bad, and then a year later get to see them come back and they're so happy. That time period between, there is so much emotions, and it's so frustrating for the athlete. Alexis Stucky loves volleyball. She loves it, and taking that away from her, hard. So that's the hardest part to watch for me, was how difficult that was for her to lose.
The best way we kind of worked through that, especially for her, was just we would sit in my car one day after a long day of practice, and she just has to watch, obviously, and we would just sit in it and just be you know what, this sucks. It sucks, but every time we would get out of the car, it would be tomorrow's a new day. And tomorrow is gonna be my championship. I'm gonna get 1% stronger. I'm gonna get 1% tougher.
And through it all, there was one thing Stucky missed most.
Something I really learned from this process was how much I love playing with my teammates. I don't want to say I took it for granted because I always have enjoyed playing with my teammates, but doing all the lonely hours and doing all the things alone made me realize, oh my gosh, I adore my teammates and I love playing with them and I love being with them.
She thrives off of connection, and she is one of the absolute best people to play with because she's such a good teammate. And just seeing her not be able to do the one thing that she loves most and she gets so much of her happiness from.
And after 368 days of not doing what she loved with her teammates, Alexis Stucky entered the match in set number 3 against North Texas that September evening.
So we had a moment of we're just really excited. And then she finished kind of the rest of her warm-up, and I just grabbed her hands and told her how proud I was and that she was going to be great. and I was hoping she was gonna have so much fun.
To watch her smile, like that is the most genuine smile I've seen out of her in a really long time. And it's everything that you could have ever imagined for her. The comeback, she worked harder than anyone I've ever met. And there's not a single person I know who works harder than her, and she deserves every moment of this. She deserves to be known as one of the absolute greatest setters to go down in NCAA history. And I think that her story of being on the sidelines for a long time and having to watch and be so far away from the game has really taught her gratitude in the sense of like, this is absolutely everything to me.
And oh, did Alexis feel the love pouring in.
My teammates, they were so excited for this moment, like dare I say even more excited than me. Like they were cheering so loud, smiling so big. Like Ellie looks at me and she's just got this big grin on her face, and I felt really glad to be out there.
The joy Stucky brought to the court, bench, arena, and her family, it gave everyone all the feels.
It like might make me cry. Just seeing everyone love her and be so excited for her, like it's a feeling that I know I will never forget, so I can't even imagine how big it was for her. But to know that everyone knows she's an amazing athlete, she is through and through, her stats show it, everyone knows it, but she is such an amazing human being that makes it 10 times better. And just her being one of my best friends, like that was my Super Bowl. Like watching her get to step on that floor for the first time and have everyone just know like the kid's back. And that's just, it's a feeling I will never forget.
It started with a moment that no one wanted to watch, and after a year of dedication, ended with a moment all of Gator Nation will want to rewatch. The redheaded setter from Wyoming, wowing everyone who watches her, set up her teammates for success. For Florida Volleyball, I'm Megan Parler.